Thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasairos. So I have a few things to talk about today. First, let's talk about President Trump. President Trump is ready to go down with the Zionist pedophile ring. He is not backing off. He is not changing his course or his tune on the Jeffrey Epstein. I shouldn't even call it the Jeffrey Epstein. It's a Zionist pedophile ring ran by pedophiles. And for some reason, when you read a story or you listen to the news or the media, they always start it with successful financier Jeffrey Epstein. That's the way that's the way they describe him at first, or disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, one or the other. And I really find that ironic. Because if it was any other group of people, they'd be mentioning their race, their religion. If it was Christians, it would be like, oh, this Christian sex trafficking ring. If it was Muslims, it would definitely be brought up. But of course, with Jeffrey Epstein, everybody's going to pretend that they don't know that he's a Zionist, that he doesn't work for the Israeli government, that he's not working for Benjamin Netanyahu either. It just, you know what? It really is too much. And Trump, he is not changing course. Trump is going to go down with the ship. Trump is going to go down with the Zionists, and he has no other course of action. And I was laughing today that that woman that got kidnapped. Let me look up her name. I forget her name. Nancy Guthrie. That weird kidnapping story that's going on. Trump comes out and he's like being super aggressive, and he's saying things like, we're going to give those people the death penalty. We're coming for you. Justice is coming for you. It's like, Trump, do you think at this point anybody takes you seriously? Like, you're trying to flex all of a sudden that you're about justice and you're about what's right. Meanwhile, you are covering up a pedophile ring for all the wrong reasons, because those are your donors. And you want us to believe that you're about law and order. You're making yourself look like a complete disgrace. And that's all you are. You're a complete disgrace. Then you have ERIKA KIRK today. And, I'm going to play that video in a couple minutes. Jim Dory is playing some of these text messages that a 25-year-old ERIKA KIRK was sending to an underage girl that was like 15 years old. All these sexual weird texts and phrases. And, she's a groomer. ERIKA KIRK is a groomer. She's a sex trafficker. She's no different than a Jeffrey Epstein. It's all, all these people are the same type of people. Just when you think, first of all, ERIKA KIRK's entire persona to me is just pure evil. So am I surprised at all what's coming out about her, that she's grooming 15-year-olds in Arizona or anywhere she goes? I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised the slightest bit. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is this. Is it too much? See, all these people are involved with President Trump. All these people are involved with him. President Trump, is it too much to ask of you to hang out with people who can at least get girls and young men that are at least 18 to 20 years old? I mean, is that too much to ask for? Think about this. All of these people have billions of dollars. They have the world at their fingertips, and that's not good enough. Let's say you have a guy, a politician. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein, for instance. Would anybody be even talking about this if he was dating 20-year-old girls, which he could have easily have done? But no, that's not good enough. They want to have children. They want to have sex with 6-year-olds. They want to, traffic the goyim, because after all, they're just goyim. Who cares? They're cattle. You saw one of the Epstein files that was released that Epstein was mocking a little girl, that she was praying to Jesus, and he was mocking her the whole time before her life was taken from her. These Zionists, they hate Jesus Christ. The whole Judeo-Christian relationship is a complete effing lie. It's just done so you blindlessly support Israel. Because if you look at all the Epstein emails, the released, the documents, his disdain for Jesus Christ, his disdain for Caucasians, his disdain for America, But they want you to believe that, Epstein and Benjamin Netanyahu and the country of Israel, that's America's greatest ally. Well, when you read those messages, doesn't sound like it, does it? Not at all. Not the slightest bit. And am I surprised? I'm not surprised because I already knew this. I mean, you're just not paying attention. So Trump, he's ready to go down with the ship. He's not going to change course at all. He's going to ruin his entire presidency for pedophiles, the Zionist pedophiles that sex trafficked, that murdered, that ate children. That's what Trump is pissing it all away for. So let me get off that topic for a minute because I can go on and on for days about Trump destroying his entire presidency. I think it's time that the United States government puts all known Zionists and that title Zionist on a terrorist watch list. And why can't they? Why don't they? They do it to Christians. They do it to Catholics. They do it to Muslims. Let's not forget the women that were, or the parents that were protesting at PBA meetings. They went on the terrorist watch list also. Why is it so much to ask the United States government to put open and known Zionists on a terrorist watch list in America and throughout the world? You have a country, Zionism is an idea, it's extremism, it's Jewish supremacy, putting the country of Israel first before anything. And you have Zionists in America who are corrupting our politicians, who are rigging our elections because they're, for instance, if a candidate is running and they know that he's not a Zionist, they put millions of dollars into the other candidate to help that candidate win. So they are influencing our elections. We all know they own President Trump. President Trump is covering up for a Zionist pedophile ring. Remember Ghislaine Maxwell? Her father stole the nuclear codes from America. He worked for the Israeli government. Then they sold those codes to Russia and all our enemies got their hands on them. And you want me to believe that this is not a problem? You want the American people to believe that Zionism is not an issue, that it shouldn't go on a terrorist watch list because Israel is America's greatest ally. Well, I guess you haven't looked up the dancing Israelis, huh? I guess you haven't looked up the USS Liberty. The Epstein files are the biggest scandals in American history, in the presidency of America. It's the biggest scandal ever. A sex trafficking ring ran by Zionists to get American politicians and European politicians and all politicians around the world in compromising positions so they would be owned and controlled by Zionists. Meanwhile, our FBI knew it. Our CIA knew what was going on. Everybody knew what was going on. But these Zionists were allowed to operate without being prosecuted. And not just a year, 2 years. We're talking 50 years, 40, 50, 60 years. And that's why I say that if you're an open Zionist and the word Zionism, period, needs to be put on a terrorist watch list. Everybody else gets put on it when they have so-called extreme views. If the government labels you, if you're a Christian, or you're a Catholic nationalist, or you're, American nationalist, or even if you're MAGA, I forgot about that. The United States government under Biden was putting MAGA supporters on terrorist watch list. But somehow, some way, the Zionists, they just seem to escape every single time. Nope, you're not allowed to say that about them. How dare you? How dare you insinuate something? They're the real victims in every situation, in every circumstance. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just enough is enough already. And then, you're brainwashed by every media outlet in America. And when you go into, I will never step foot in a Christian church ever again. I talk about this all the time. The Christian Judeo relationship is the biggest lie that they tell in church, other than the kids being molested by the Catholic priest and we all know what was going on there. But all it is brainwashing. So Israel has, an open checkbook with the American taxpayers' money. They have total control over our military. Benjamin Netanyahu gave a speech. I think this speech was yesterday. And he says, Israel fights for itself. We don't need anybody's help. We fight for ourselves and we finance ourselves. And people are clapping for this garbage. Really? I thought we gave you about 40 billion this year, last year, for the last 50 years. Whether it was millions, billions, who gives a shit? Israel's the size of New Jersey. We all know that the American taxpayer is paying for everybody in Israel to have free healthcare. And Benjamin Netanyahu gives this speech on the world stage, making it sound like Israel doesn't use the American military to conquer the Middle East, trying to make it sound like the American taxpayer doesn't subsidize the whole country. Right? Well, I mean, not only is he a psychopath, first of all, who are you? Who is Benjamin Netanyahu? Like, who are you? Because, that name, Benjamin Netanyahu, it's not even your real name. You're from Poland. You had a Polish name. It seems like you're impersonating Israelites, if you ask me. Who are you? All for his own personal benefit. All for his own person. Everybody in his cabinet used to have like these European names, and they all changed their names into these really Israeli names. Like, who the hell are these people? What are they doing? Well, I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to conquer the world with the United States military. And anybody that has a problem with it gets called an anti-Semite and gets accused of not liking Jewish people or hating Jewish people, which is totally ridiculous because we all see what's going on. If you have a brain in your head and you're not afraid to talk about it, we all see what's going on. You got to watch the Benjamin Netanyahu speech. It's totally comical. These Zionists, they're no friend to America or American citizens. You see those Jeffrey Epstein emails or whatever they are. You see the way they talk about the goyim. You see the way they think about you. You see the way they think about the construction worker, the waitress, your kid that joins the military. They work for us. They're stupid. They're dumb. They're nothing. Their lives have no value. That's what they think about you. If you think that Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't think that way about you, he walks around Israel telling everybody he owns President Trump. And President Trump knows that. And yet President Trump still kisses his ass and gives him every single thing that he wants. Did you know this? When Benjamin Netanyahu, every time I put the camera on, I haven't sniffled all day or sneezed. Every time I put the camera on, I start sniffling. Hopefully this snow goes away soon. But did you know when Benjamin Netanyahu, he'll go to Trump and he'll be like, hey, I want you to bomb Iran. And Trump will be like, oh, I don't really want to do that. It's not a good idea. He'll say some type of nonsense. You know what Benjamin Netanyahu will do? He'll threaten Trump and he'll say, well, if you don't do it, Israel will use nuclear weapons on our enemies. We will nuke Iran. We will nuke this one. We will nuke that one. So what does President Trump do? Weak, corrupt, pathetic Trump do? He does what they say. He gets involved and he bombs, he bombs Iran. He bombs this one. He bombs that one. All at Israel's request because he's afraid that Israel is going to use nuclear weapons on these other countries. See, a real leader, when Benjamin Netanyahu makes that threat, when he makes that type of threat, and you're the president of the United States of America, the most powerful man in the world, with the most lethal fighting force in the entire universe, and you let this roach, you let this spineless worm, this turd, threaten you to get you to do what he wants. See, I would remind him who I am and what I am, the president of the United States with the most lethal fighting force in the world. And I suggest you leave my office before you make me angry. And then you know what I would do after he went back and I could see he was going to do what he did, what he promised that he would do. You know what I would do? I would send our special forces over there. Think about this. Israel claims they don't even have the ability to handle Hamas. A bunch of low IQ. They all have like a 50 IQ. 5 guys on a moped, per moped. And they can't handle these cavemen, these Neanderthals. But somehow, some way, President Trump wants you to believe that he can't handle Benjamin Netanyahu, right? That's what he wants you to think. See, once I knew Benjamin Netanyahu was going to keep his promise with nuking Iran and all these other places, you know what I would do? I would have our special forces in Israel in less than 24 hours, taking control of their nuclear weapons, forcing a regime change, and you're going to do what I say, and you're not going to shake me down, and you're not going to make me do things that I don't want to do because you're going to threaten me to do them. And that's what's going on here. That's exactly what goes on here. Benjamin Netanyahu, you know, Trump, he does all this tough guy talk. He's a tough guy, all right? Trump is a real tough guy. But Benjamin Netanyahu shakes him down every chance he gets. He strong arms him every chance he gets. Oh, you know what, Trump? If you don't do what I say, I'm going to nuke all these other places. I'd be like, you know what? F you. Go ahead. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. And then once I seen that he really meant it, I would send the special forces over there. Within 5 hours, we'd have the Benjamin Netanyahu would be answering to America the way it should be. That country should be answering to us. Israel should be answering to America, not the other way around. And right now, guess what? The United States of America has been taken hostage and it's under siege from Zionists who are living in America, who live in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu and his whole whatever, his whole entourage. And they are shaking down President Trump to go to war with Iran. Meanwhile, Iran doesn't want to have a problem with America. And I said this yesterday. Who do you think, when the assassination attempt on President Trump's life, right away it went to, oh, Iran's trying to kill President Trump. That wasn't Iran trying to kill President Trump. President Trump was going to release the Epstein files originally like he promised. And then Mossad and the Israeli government tried to take his life. But they groomed these assassins online. That was not Iran. Do not believe that in a million years. And the reason why the Zionist-controlled media is pushing the narrative that that shooter in Pennsylvania and the other one, the reason why they're pushing the narrative that it's Iran is because Israel wants President Trump of the United States of America to bomb Iran for them. So that's what they do all the time. They do these false flags. It's weasel coward behavior. And instead of getting a grip on it, instead of getting control of it like a man, like a leader, like President Trump should, when Benjamin Netanyahu goes in his office and threatens him and says, well, if you don't bomb Iran, I will use nuclear weapons on the world. I would look at that as a personal threat if I'm Trump. I'd say, okay, really? Well, you have a good day. I'll talk to you later. And in less than 24 hours, guess what would happen? My special forces would be in Israel, taking over their nuclear weapons, putting a new regime in, and Benjamin Netanyahu wouldn't be threatening anybody after that point. But that's not what Trump does. What does Trump do? Okay, Daddy. Okay, Benjamin. I don't want to make you angry. Let me go bomb this one. Let me go bomb that one. We don't want to make Benjamin Netanyahu, angry. He's a real tough guy. I say this all the time. Hey, Trump, I know you're weak. I know you're old. I know you're corrupt. I know all your inner circle seems to be a bunch of pedophiles, whether it's ERIKA, KIRK, Epstein, the whole crew, I mean, God forbid you guys date females that are at least 20 years old. I'm just asking for too much at this point. But it seems like you're surrounded by a bunch of cowards. So maybe I should just sit next to you. And when Benjamin Netanyahu comes in there being unreasonable, I say this in every video, I can grab him by his face and throw him out into the street, or, pick him up by his collar and throw him face first into the street and let him know not to threaten you, since obviously you're not man enough to do it yourself. And you think I'm just joking, and you think this is a joke. I think a lot of people think that I'm joking around when I say these types of things. I'm not joking around at all. It's like, President Trump, do you realize who you are and what you are? But yet, a small country in the Middle East is controlling your every single move, and it's absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. It's just sickening. It really is sickening that Trump is throwing away his entire presidency for this. All right, let me turn the page on that, because, again, I can go on and on and on about that situation. So today you got to listen to, Patrick Bet-David. he is just not going to be happy until, you know, he loses all his viewership on his podcast. All his credibility is already out the window. Adam Sosnick, another Zionist, is just destroying the entire podcast with his, you know, he's Israel first. It's as clear as day. He's a Zionist. And you got to hear him try to normalize Jeffrey Epstein's behavior like, oh, maybe you guys are just making him a monster. He's not really a monster. Maybe you're just all being emotional. There's nothing to see here. He doesn't work for the Israeli government. He would never hurt any children. He would never sexually assault them. He would never human traffic them. He would never drink their blood. No, it's all your imagination, according to Adam Sosnick. You know, when I listen to Sosnick talk today, this is the first thing that popped in my mind. It's like, could you imagine if this was the roles were reversed? Could you imagine if a German man was sex trafficking and human trafficking like all these little Israeli underage children all around the world? Could you imagine what would happen? Could you imagine what the Zionists would want? They would want President Trump to basically nuke every country in the world if that was happening to their children. But hey, these little goyim, they had no future anyway. Their life means nothing. They're just cattle to us. Who cares about them? You know, their fathers are construction workers. Their mom's a waitress. Their life doesn't have any value. We could just, you know, use and abuse them for our own pleasure. And Adam Sosnick is in total agreement with this type of behavior. To say that I hate Sosnick, I can't even put it in words how much I hate this human being. It's just the amount of hate that I have for him is just incredible. It really is. Let's let Sosnick talk. I know it's hard. I mean, he's unbearable, but let's hear his ridiculous take.
It says page 8 or page 7. What page is that on? Ehud Barak, page 7. Okay. Former Prime Minister Ehud Barak apologized for years-long friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein that included regular correspondence and multiple visits to the disgraced financier's Manhattan apartment, as well as visit to his private island. The former Israeli leader had not been implicated in Epstein's sexual abuse of underage girls and faces no accusations of wrongdoing. But in an exclusive interview with Israel's Channel 12 on Thursday, he said he regretted ever having known Epstein and apologized to all who feel deeply uncomfortable. I'm responsible for all my actions and decisions, and there's definitely room to ask if there wasn't room for more in-depth judgment on my part and a more thorough examination of what the details really are, what exactly happened there. Adam, thoughts on the whole thing?
Sure.
Sorry about this commercial. I'm live too, so you're going to have to deal with it.
Of course he's going to say that because his friend is dead, and that's what he's going to do. But I'm going to give you a different argument on this, Pat, so allow me a couple seconds to roll this out. A lot of people want accountability here. The people want heads to roll. I just don't see it happening because what I'm doing is removing emotion.
He doesn't see it happening. You know why he doesn't see it happening? Not because he's removing emotion. Because Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Israeli government and he's a Zionist. That's the real reason, Adam. But hey, let's not talk about the big elephant in the room, Sosnick.
Completely from this situation. And I totally empathize and understand why you would get emotional about this. There's underage girls. What's going on the island? Oh my God.
Don't you love how he calls anybody telling the truth? Like he tries to make it like they're just being emotional with no facts. It's just the typical gaslighting from the Zionists and Sosnick. Always playing the victim and gaslighting everyone. Go figure.
The flip side to it is I'm asking questions. Is Epstein, are they making him into the boogeyman? Are they making him into the devil? You know, we've interviewed people on this show.
Are they making Epstein into the devil? Are they making him into the boogeyman? Oh yeah, Sosnick. All the goyim are just making up stories about Epstein. His behavior didn't dictate to us what he is and who he truly is as a human being. It's everybody else, Sosnick. We're just all emotional, and we're not as smart as you and the rest of the Zionists. We're just a bunch of dumb goyim who can't get it together emotionally. So all our thoughts are off of emotion and not based off of facts and obvious evidence, according to Sosnick here.
Andrew Tate, he's a sex trafficking. He wasn't accused of it. I'm sorry, he was accused of it. He wasn't found guilty of it. So we interviewed a lot of wrestlers.
You know why he loves the Tate so much? who are obviously human traffickers, pimps, pedos, crypto scammers. And I love when the Tates say they'll sue people. Go ahead, sue me. You know what I'll play when I go to court? I'll play the video of you teaching young men how to pimp women, how to manipulate them to get them to work on webcam, how you tell them they have to pay taxes and you take the paperwork and throw it in the garbage. Does that video ring a bell? That's what, when SOSNICK is hanging out with the Tates on the weekend, he's trying to pick up 17-year-old girls in the club also. Because according to him, 17 years old in Florida is not illegal. But like any moral man that's, 47 years old like SOSNICK is like, dude, I'm not talking to a 17-year-old girl, but SOSNICK's a perv. So what else would you expect?
So, Brand, what happened with him? Johnny Depp, I'm just asking, because Epstein is dead, has the story taken a life of its own? I'm just asking this because I watched a great episode yesterday from a guy who I think does a great job. This guy, Coleman Hughes. You know who that is?
No.
Conversations with Coleman. If you see him, you know who it is.
Yeah, he's probably getting paid by Benjamin Netanyahu $10,000 a month. But hey, let's not talk about that.
Had a conversation on his show debunking Epstein hysteria and the moral panic. You ever seen this guy?
Oh, yeah, I have seen this guy.
This guy is cold-blooded, facts, logic, reason, no emotion. And that's what you need in these situations.
Yeah, SOSNICK, everybody that's telling the truth about Epstein after reading his own emails, we're just all emotional. We're not on your level mentally. I hate his guts. I really do. I hate his entire existence. Oh, that sounds harsh. Well, I absolutely do. So
he dismantled Dave Smith. Now he's having a conversation with this guy, Michael Tracy. Michael Tracy is basically, in my opinion, the anti-Whitney Webb. He's saying, look, I'm just following facts, reason, and logic. Everyone is so hysterical about what happened here. So let me just go down the facts here. Do you know what? I'm not saying what he should have been, what he could have been, what Jeffrey Epstein was actually convicted of. Do you guys know what he was actually?
Well, soliciting prostitution and sleeping with an underage girl.
Correct.
Okay, that's disgusting.
Okay. Correct. But that's
my
it.
emotion.
Sure.
Correct. No big deal. No big deal. The Zionist, he was just convicted of trying to sleep with an underage girl and sex trafficking them in Florida. According to SOSNICK, nothing to see there. She's just a goyim. She has no value anyway. He didn't make it to his next trial because he was murdered in prison. I don't think he's murdered. I think he's still alive. He's probably living in Tel Aviv right now. But hey, according to SOSNICK, no big deal. No big deal. I wonder why SOSNICK thinks that's no big deal. I'm sure I have the answer why.
He's a disgusting person.
He pled guilty, took a plea deal to soliciting prostitution of a minor. Allegedly, she was 17, and as he says in this story, it was the day before her 18th birthday. I'm not advocating for that, but you know who is? The 35 states in America who have a 16 and older minor relations thing. Florida.
Do you see what a piece of shit he is? Trying to justify what Jeffrey Epstein has done to all these young women, underage girls. Do you see what a piece of shit Adam SOSNICK is? Patrick Bet-David, you're a piece of shit too. Literally, I will tell you right to your face, you're a piece of shit. Because this isn't a conversation. This is just blatant, vile disgustingness. And you're letting this piece of garbage destroy your entire, but you have no credibility at this point, Patrick Bet-David. And we all know why SOSNICK is on the show. Again, South Florida, a lot of Jewish people down there, super powerful. Before Patrick Bet-David was getting strikes on his channel, and Adam SOSNICK is the savior because Patrick Bet-David knows if SOSNICK's on the channel, he's not going to get the strikes because he has connections at YouTube. So Patrick Bet-David is willing to put up with garbage takes like this.
Florida is 18. So he was.
Look at Tom's face because he knows what a piece of shit SOSNICK is. Just a total piece of garbage human being.
The allegations are what he was accused of: sex trafficking, conspiracy, sexual abuse, rape. He was never found guilty of that. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm not saying that he couldn't have done it. I'm just saying that we live in a country with rules and laws.
He will do anything to defend the Zionist tribe. He will say anything. And Patrick Bet-David, you're a disgrace. You really are.
And he was never found guilty of that. That's all I'm saying. So the other thing is, Ghislaine Maxwell,
Yeah, he wasn't found guilty because, the Israeli government helped him escape the Manhattan federal prison, the lockup, and now he's living in Tel Aviv, along with Ghislaine Maxwell, because that was not Ghislaine Maxwell in court the other day when she did her video conferencing call from prison, and we all know that.
So if they're going to kill Jeffrey Epstein because he knew all this stuff, and she's his right-hand woman, she's still alive. If he has all...
Because she's not in the prison, Adam, and neither is Jeffrey Epstein because he's not really dead. But hey, Patrick Bet-David, he'll never bring that angle up, Patrick Bet-David. And Patrick Bet-David has seen the photos, and Patrick Bet-David has heard the stories of Epstein being brought out of the prison the night before, and they put some dummy in the bed or whatever the hell they did. Patrick Bet-David has seen the photos of Ghislaine Maxwell. They're trying to tell you that prisoner was her. But he won't go down that road, Patrick Bet-David. You know why? Because Patrick Bet-David is corrupt too. He's compromised. He's on the take too. Just like when he has Alan Dershowitz on his show and he lets Alan Dershowitz preach to the audience that there's no way that Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Israeli government. Yeah, okay, Patrick Bet-David.
All these secrets, and he knows all the black book and all these things, and he knows everything. Why haven't they killed her? So if she knows everything, if she's the assistant to the devil incarnate, how's she still talking? How's she still walking? So I'm not on team Jeffrey Epstein at all. Absolute dirtbag.
Then he tries to cover it. I'm not on team Epstein at all. No, I'm not. Yeah, okay. Just like you're not on team Zionist either, right, Adam? You are a piece of garbage. Adam, I know this is very difficult because it's not who you are. Just be a man for once in your life. I know it's very difficult. Stop the false flag attacks. Stop the scheming. Stop the sliminess. And just be a man and say what you stand for, Adam. No big deal. I mean, it's never too late to be a man, Adam.
I'm not on team Ghislaine at all. Some people are making a name these days, but I'm just asking questions. Yeah, everybody's just making a name for themselves, stating the obvious that Jeffrey Epstein worked for the Israeli government and he was a human trafficker that had sex with underage kids and ate them and drank their blood and sold them to the highest bidder. No, it didn't happen, right, Adam? I'm simply asking questions and it's this. Have we made Jeffrey Epstein the boogeyman and devil when you look in a court of law, he's never been found guilty of these things. So we're all speculating, we're using wild emotions, and it's taken a life of its own. And I get it. It's fun to do. And also he can't sue.
He gets it. It's fun to do. Really? Was it fun for those children? Was it fun for those underage girls being sexually assaulted, you piece of shit? It's fun to do. Really, SOSNICK? Don't you love how all these Zionists, they always play the victim? Just like in Gaza, right? There's really not a genocide going on. It's all in your mind. It's all in your imagination. Israel is the good guys, and everybody else is the bad ones. And whenever they do something, you're just an anti-Semite and you don't like Jewish people. Always playing the victims every chance they get.
For libel or slander when he's dead. But if she knew...
Spoken like a true Zionist, Adam.
...every secret about Jeffrey Epstein, why are they still allowing her to live? That's my question.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think a dark world only exists in movies, or do you think it exists in real life?
I love how Patrick Bet-David, he tries to get really deep and ask an interesting question. After listening to that whole spiel, you're pathetic too, PBD. You're absolutely pathetic.
Well,
obviously it exists in real life.
Okay. But actually think about the last 50 years. What is the darkest thing that got exposed?
I'm a numbers guy, but I have no common sense, all right? We don't know what Adam's doing right now because I'm getting a $70,000 a month check from Benjamin Netanyahu.
What is the darkest thing that got exposed in the last 50 years in America?
50?
50 years. Since, let's just go 1960. What's the darkest thing?
Possibly that our government or CIA or somebody took out a president.
I actually don't think that's, I think that's bad.
Oh, you mean how Israel took out JFK? You don't want to go down that road, do you, Adam?
Militias, which, leaders have been killed for many years. It's not like, I don't know what it was. It was the Roman Empire.
Et tu, Brute?
Yeah.
They all stabbed.
Pico gave me the stat, like 38 emperors were replaced by you can go pull up the stat, 32, 33 by the sword. That happens. If you become a leader, mob, president, kid. Well, give me dark exposed.
Exposed.
That we know for a fact it happened. All sides agree it happened. Last 50 years.
Well,
Like
certainly
MG Ultra?
child sex trafficking, no doubt. Whatever's happened.
No,
Child
but,
sex
but,
trafficking.
but give it to me. Which one?
Well, the Catholic Church, for sure.
Oh, he throws it. It's so, you see, it's so funny how he'll throw the Catholic Church under the bus in 2 seconds, but not a Zionist or Israel or Epstein. No way. A Jewish person is just not capable of doing those types of things. Only Catholics can do it, right? Right, SOSNICK? F both of you. F PBD and F you too.
Okay, so Catholic Church, young
I mean,
boys.
I'm not just going to skip over that. What they did was genuinely disgusting.
Perfect. You're right. So that's 50 years.
And they covered it up.
Perfect point. That's one of them. What else?
Like way worse than.
Oh, you mean how Trump is covering up for a Zionist pedophile ring? Yeah, but hey, let's conveniently leave that out.
The gymnast or which
Yeah,
guy was
the
that guy?
gymnast Nassar.
Yeah, underage girls.
Underage girl. Okay, that's 2. What else?
Yeah.
50 years, guys. What else?
What has been the worst things that have been uncovered?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what
Don't you love how Patrick Bet David talks to them like little 5th graders? What, like, this is how my 5th grade teacher would talk to me. What else? What else? And they're all sitting there like idiots. Like, you can't. This is what I could never be a yes man for anybody. I just couldn't. I don't care how much you paid me. I just couldn't do it.
you want to call
I would say
COVID,
the Catholic Church is probably top 3 because it's underage boys. What happened? Top 3. And
oh, let's not put, we can't put the Zionist Epstein in there, right? We're going to put the Catholic Church at the top.
he kept it.
Yeah.
Sandusky. Okay.
No, that's not top.
That's
3.
not. But what else?
No.
Actually, by the way, you know what point I'm trying to make? It's not that many. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Watergate? What's Watergate? I mean, what Obama did is worse than Watergate.
Well,
investigating
What
Trump and
if you
you know
focus on-
what they were doing to Trump, that's worse than Watergate.
if you
We don't-
focus on
that's
America-
amateur to us right now.
if you focus on America, thank God we don't have that many.
But why though?
Because the rest of the world is way more barbaric and chaotic than America. So if we
to
want to, we don't even know. We have no clue
or Adam,
what happened in Rwanda.
Yeah.
Adam-
We have no clue what happened with actual genocides. What's going on in Sudan
Yeah.
right now? So we get so
I'm
hysterical.
asking
but
this question because to me, I go by stats. Okay,
Mhm.
we made the video about
There we go. He goes
what
by
religion
stats,
creates
right.
more wealth and produces results and produce safer societies. Number 1 is Christianity. It's not even close. Number 1 is Christianity. Christianity is so amazing that even Jews, Muslims, every other religion wants to come and live here. Hindu, you name it, they want to live under Christianity, let in the right values and principles because they feel the safest, right? So if you go look at that, you have to realize any city you run, you can't expect there won't be crime. Any city you run, you can't expect.
This is his most pathetic take ever. What pivot? Like, how does this make sense to anything that SOSNICK just said? What a pivot off the topic. Like today, all the pathetic things that PBD does, this is absolutely fucking pathetic. And you make me sick, Patrick Bet David. You really do. Being this compromised, you are absolutely pathetic.
Expect there won't be things that'll happen. You run a military unit, stuff's going to happen. You run a company, stuff's going to happen. I remember when my office was small, I had 10, 20 agents, nothing would happen.
All right, I can't. I'm totally done with this. The PBD podcast, I can't wait till it finally crashes and burns. Patrick Bet David, you are a piece of garbage. You really are. Let's go to the ERIKA KIRK. Her sending, you got to see these text messages from ERIKA KIRK to this underage girl. Oh, these two, I'll tell you what, TBD and Adam SOSNICK today, they just made me sick to my effing stomach, man.
Thank you, ERIKA friend. Thank you, ERIKA friend.
Here, another human being, another trafficker that is in the inner circle of President Trump. Trump, I mean, you really need to get some new friends. Can you get some friends that at least if they want to date a man or a woman, they're at least 20 years old? Because being from the ages of 10 or 8 years old to 15, it's illegal, Trump. I know this is difficult. It just keeps getting better for ERIKA KIRK. Let's let it play.
Friends, for making my whole week. And I'm guessing this is the thing that ERIKA had sent her, and it said, I want to be inside your lady garden.
Now, ERIKA KIRK sent that to a 15-year-old girl. I want to be inside your lady garden. And this girl, Jill Falcone, she posted the messages from ERIKA KIRK. Just when you thought it couldn't get, well, I mean, she's part of an assassination team. So I don't know what gets worse than that. But here you go. You know, she's trying to groom some underage girls too. Old Gargamel here. I call ERIKA KIRK Gargamel.
Noam saying? Noam
Chomsky, I'm saying?
Noam saying? So we got more on ERIKA KIRK, and it turns out that a lot of people think she was grooming, replace B with a G, a young 15-year-old girl, because that's what it looks like. And I'll show you here. James Lee talked about this a little. We'll talk about it here.
These are the alleged texts between ERIKA KIRK and a 15-year-old back in 2013. Let me call you.
So ERIKA KIRK was 25 years old, and she had a relationship with a 15-year-old girl, and these have surfaced now, these text messages and tweets, and none of it looks good. It looks like, you remember how what she was doing in Romania? People were accusing her of trafficking in Romania at her orphanage. Well, and that where her orphanage was the center of trafficking in that area. Well, watch
a place known for Andrew Tate.
Yes, watch this.
On hold, sweetheart. Give me a sex. Wow. Okay, laughing emoji. Sex too, but not from you. Lol. Holy shit. You always make me laugh. ERIKA responds, I don't bat for the other team.
So let me show you this. So this is our text messages. This is ERIKA. She's talking to the 15-year-old girl. She says, let me call you. Hold on, sweetheart. Give me a sex. Wow. Okay. Then she goes, sex too, but not from you. LOL. What?
Transparent move that she made to go give me a sex.
She goes,
dude, and then she
goes, I don't bat for the other team just yet.
That's not.
Oh, isn't that the holy roller ERIKA KIRK herself, Miss Holiness? Right? Talking like this to a 15-year-old girl. ERIKA, she just makes me, everything about her. Charlie Kirk, he had no street intelligence at all, and that's why he's dead. I mean, he's dead because he also took, the big Israeli donors' money. He took $250 million. If he didn't take their money, he'd still be alive. But ERIKA KIRK, she's just sickening. Charlie Kirk couldn't tell that she's a honeypot, and she was his handler, not his wife. And now you're seeing her groom underage girls out in the open.
Trad, Jimmy.
That's not very trad of her. Sounds like lesbian grooming. Shalom Shabbat. That's crazy.
Did she give her a shlemiel shlemile?
So there's more to this.
Just yet. Once again, this is between a 25-year-old and a 15-year-old. Here's another text exchange. You have the most stunning features. Best compliment ever. ERIKA writes, your eyes, your lips, your skin, you're absolutely beautiful. Jill responds, crying emoji, you're making me cry. I mean, if that was your 15-year-old daughter, would you want her to be getting...
Just typical grooming behavior, the love bombing. ERIKA KIRK, you're just disgusting. You really are. I mean, you could see it in her eyes. She's an absolute demon. Old Gargamel, she's just a disgusting human being.
These kinds of messages from a 25-year-old. I don't know. Jill tweets, why did ERIKA Franzfeld just send me this? And the meme here is...
So ERIKA sent this to this girl. This girl then tweets it out and says, why did ERIKA just send this to me with all these...
What are those emojis? It's like the 5 stages of grief?
I don't know. They're all different.
And who's the girl's name? What's her name?
But the girl's name is Jill Falcone, but who's now of age. So then she says, this Valentine's Day, I'm going to touch your butt. That's what ERIKA, a 25-year-old woman, sent to a 15-year-old girl.
Right. Well, she's part of the cult herself.
After telling her how pretty she is, what great skin she has, her lips, her eyes. Whoa. Okay, here, we keep going.
Emo, this Valentine's Day, I'm going to touch your butt. I don't want to just throw out the term grooming haphazardly, but it doesn't look good.
For anybody to make excuses for this behavior, to think that this is okay or it's just joking, you need to be investigated next.
I forgot to tell you, hydrate tonight, no alcohol, and don't eat a lot of salty foods. You don't want to look bloated. Jill responds, thank you. Erika responds, no alcohol? Really, Erika? Age recognition, twat waffle. Apparently, I haven't had my coffee yet. What the hell, Erika? Well, on that bite, note, damn you, Siri, come on, hashtag the struggle. What are you trying to say? Spit it out, you twat waffle. I don't know what that means. I suppose it could be interpreted in number.
I don't know. Wasn't Twat Waffle? Wasn't that the name of the kid they were going to replace Charlie Kirk with?
That's right.
Brylan Twat Waffle? I think that's what it
Twat
is.
Waffle, and he wasn't very charismatic.
I think Twat Waffles and sausages, that's a traditional groomer breakfast. Am I wrong about that?
Her name's German, is it not? Franz V.
That's just Miss Arizona practicing her talent portion of the pageant. Her talent is duping children into serving themselves up to cannibal vampire elites. I think that's her talent. Let's go.
Arizona is a state that is one of the #1 for that type of thing.
Yes.
Just so you know.
Of different ways, from very innocent to not so innocent. But what I will say is that I would probably not be sending these kinds of messages to a minor.
So either would I. Either would I. But I'll just want. There's some more stuff that he didn't touch on. Here's another one. So that's that girl and her friend, and they tweet out, "Erika Franz dying because you're so pretty." That's what they.
Well, is Erika Kirk Destiny the shitty streamer?
and then Erika Kirk responded, but she deleted all her correspondences with this girl, and so then this girl responds saying, "We miss you too." So
I'm dying because you're so pretty. Now, a 15-year-old probably doesn't understand why in the hell a grown adult woman is saying these things to her.
So this is Erika Franz's post is deleted. She says, "Erika Franz, I fell in love with the world in you."
Okay, she should go to prison for saying that to a 15-year-old.
No, that's what she said. That's what Jill Falcone said to Erika.
Okay, then Erika has to be put in prison even more now.
So
that's crazy.
So it looks like, but it's in quotes. So maybe Erika did say it.
No, Erika said that to her.
So Erika
said that to her. That's what that means.
Erika said, "I fell in love with the world in you."
That's like the kind of poetry you fucking say when you get a crush on somebody. You know, usually not a child.
It's just over the top grooming by an obvious groomer who has experience, because Erika Kirk is a straight piece of garbage and trash. And her reputation just totally finished. So it doesn't matter how much, all these news stations try to trot her out and make her sound like Mother of the Year or Virgin, the Virgin Mary herself. It's over. And everybody knows it.
Child, but
here's another one. I just want to curl up in a ball and cry because of how perfect Erika Franz is. That's what that girl tweets. Erika responds, she deleted it, and then Erika Franz says, "You too, love." So what? Here's another one. Quote, Erika Franz, "One day I'm going to wake up, roll over on my side, and kiss the love of my life good morning."
Hey, Erika's single now. There's still time.
What is going on? By the way, this all got discovered by this woman called Nissee Social, Nisscee Social on YouTube. So she discovered, as far as I know, she's the one who discovered all this. So here's another one she sent. Did you see this, Kurt? "Thank you, Erika Franz, for making my whole week." And I'm guessing this is the thing that Erika had sent her, and it said, "I want to be inside your lady garden." Know I'm saying? Noam
Chomsky, I'm saying?
No, I'm saying?
Does Erika have a dick? Is she like the French first lady? What is going on? How would she even get in there? Well, I don't understand what lesbians do, Jimmy. I'm sorry. I don't know what they do.
So here's
How would she get in?
So here's the girl. She's with a guy, and she tweeted out a picture of her and this guy. It says, "Miss you, goon." So she's saying to this guy, "Miss you, goon." And then Erika texted her saying, "Did Erika just text me hashtag no new friends? Oh my FG, I can't." So
so Erika Kirk is pretending she's in love with this underage girl. All right. But hey, she's just a great, wonderful person, this Erika Kirk. Miss USA herself.
She's saying that after she tweeted this out, Erika Kirk sent her a text saying no new friends.
Yeah. If
That-
Charlie Sheen sent this to your daughter, there wouldn't even be a question of what this was.
Wouldn't even be. Here's another. So, right. Getting this in the mail from Erika France. Erika France sent her chocolates and a note for her birthday. Like something you would send a girlfriend. And that birthday card says, "Happy Sweet 16, beautiful girl. Keep strong in faith and know you're loved. But most of all, never forget that you are perfect and amazing just the way you are. I am so proud of you. Today is the first day of another 365-day journey around the sun. Enjoy the trip, boo. Love you, E."
Come on, boo.
To a 15-year-old girl.
Oh my goodness.
Here's more.
I told you so's to some friends of mine. I cannot wait, Jimmy.
You have the most stunning features. Your eyes, your lips, your skin. You're absolutely beautiful. So that all just seems bad. That doesn't seem good. And then I guess the girl didn't bite hard enough, and Erika just let her go. And
Yeah, she
so
played a murder, so you know.
And so now, years later, that girl says that she was never trafficked. So good, she was never so.
Yeah, you know, the trafficking, the love bombing didn't work on the young girl, so Erika KIRK just cut off contact because it wasn't working. She probably would have ended up on Epstein Island, this young girl. But it just exposes Erika KIRK for what she truly is, an evil, demonic, satanic murderer. You name it, Erika KIRK is everything rolled into one. You look up the Romanian story that she's banned from Romania because of all the missing kids, you know, that she was a part of, all those orphans that were going missing. Romania banned her from the country because all these children were being sex trafficked from Romania, and the organization that she was part of was doing it. I got nothing else to say. I mean, just think, and Erika KIRK and JD, they're all Trump, all of them. It just seems like everybody involved with Trump is a human trafficker or a pedophile. And sincerely, a guy that voted for Trump 3 times. So I got to put that out there also. So the other day, too, we had another trans lunatic, a trans dad, Robert Dorgan. He decides to show up at his kid's hockey game in Rhode Island, and he decides to, you know what, the mother of his children and his children at the same time. Let's check out this weirdo.
A crazed shooter armed with multiple guns, who posted online threats to, quote, go berserk, and whose own reported daughter claimed had, quote, mental health issues and was.
I just want to show you a picture of him. Oh, yeah, that's normal. You know, that's really, who could have ever saw this coming? Yeah, see, this is the problem in America. This is the real issue. When you tell men, first of all, if any man cuts their dick off or their penis off, they need to be institutionalized immediately. So for any man to want to cut their junk off, lets you know right there that they're mentally insane and mentally ill and they need to go to a mental institution. And who could have ever thought that this lunatic and maniac that went by Roberta would have ever did something like this? And Democrats and liberals and the United States government, they want you to believe that we don't have a trans problem where these people are mentally insane, because if you look at the last 20, 30 mass shootings that are all directed at children, they're all trans people. And the government just wants you to turn the page, and they're just going to blame it on straight white males who are angry because, you know, they lost their job. That's what it always turns into. That's what the talking point always turns into. But Robert Dorgan here, he decided to wait to go to a full hockey arena. He pulls out the, you know what, gets rid of his ex-wife and his children and takes his own life. But Democrats and liberals, once again, we don't have a problem here. No, it's the straight white male that works a construction job. He's the real problem because he's angry. That's what they'll turn it into. So this last thing I'm going to talk about, JD Vance, he speaks out about EILEEN Goose. She's an ice skater for the Olympic team, and she decided that she was going to skate for China instead of America. Let's jump in. Let me show you who she is first, and then I'll talk about it. She was born in the United States, but she decided to compete for China.
I certainly think that somebody who grew up in the United States of America, who benefited from our education system, from the freedoms and liberties that make this country a great place, I would hope that they want to compete with the United States of America.
You know what I would have done to this little communist? If I'm the president of the United States, you know what I would have did? I would have revoked her citizenship. And people would have said, oh, you can't do that. It's a, you know, they would have came up with some nonsense why I couldn't have done it. And I would have called my CIA director in, and I would have put her on some type of terrorist watch list, whatever. I would have classified her as a spy. I would have did something to her. And they could either taken her to Gitmo, or she just wouldn't be allowed back into the United States of America. I would exiled her to China, and I would let her fight her way back to America. And then maybe she'd learn to shut her ignorant mouth and make better decisions and not try to take a dump in everybody's face in the country that she's from. And I'm not joking around. Put me to the test with somebody like this. I would have exiled her to China, and she could effing stay there for the rest of her life. And I wouldn't give one single shit as the president of the United States of America. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Unbreakable with Chris Chamasiros.